Freshpark, how to construct your Pro Launch and Mike V Signature Pro Launch. Each kit comes with coping, 2 panels, a toe piece, 2 knobs, 3 long hinge bolts, and 8 short bolts. It also comes with the necessary tools and spare J-bolts to connect your ramps and 2 support legs. We'll start off by setting the coping out, and using the panel with the Freshpark printed on it, we will lay that directly next to the coping. Next, we will take our turn knobs and slide them into the sleeves. We will finger tighten these just for storage for now. We'll get back to those with the legs later. We're going to take our legs off, our J-bolts off, and set them to the side. Next, we'll take 4 of our short bolts and just set them in the panel next to the holes for the coping. From there, we'll take our 3 hinge bolts, we'll set them next to each hinge, and we will flip our second panel over, the lower panel. You'll know it's the lower panel because there are no hinges on one side of it where the lower kick plate is attached. We'll flip over the kick plate, line it up along the bottom there. We'll take our next 4 short bolts, set them near each hole. That way we know we have all our bolts. We will take our short bolts and have 1 washer on the inside, line up the kick plate, 1 washer on the outside, and finger tighten. We will do this with all 4 short bolts in the kick plate, using 1 washer on the inside and 1 washer on the outside, and finger tighten each lock nut. You can see that the Allen key head is on the inside of the panel and the nut is on the outside of the panel, and that is the preferred method of setting these up. Next, we will line up our 2 panels at the hinges in the middle. Make sure that you have them flush side to side. It is possible to have these set up incorrect, so you want to make sure you run your hand along the side to make sure the 2 panels line up evenly. We will take our long bolt. We will put a washer on the inside, slide it through the hinge, and a washer on the outside, and then apply the lock nut and finger tighten these. Do this for all 3 hinges. Again, a washer on the inside, washer on the outside, and finger tighten the lock nut. Next, we'll move up to the coping. You can set the coping whichever way you'd like. You can have it facing out or facing over the top of the ramp with a curve. We prefer to set it on the outside so that when we line it up with another ramp, it is ready to go. We'll take our next 4 short bolts, again with the Allen key head on the inside of the ramp and the nut on the outside, and finger tighten. 1 washer on the inside, slide it through the hole, 1 washer on the outside, and finger tighten the lock nut. We will do this for all 4 short bolts on the coping, and then we will be ready to grab our tools, the supplied Allen key and wrench, and we will go back through each bolt to tighten them. On the coping side, take your Allen key and the supplied wrench. We're going to tighten each of the coping bolts so that they're snug but not over tightened. They do not need to be cranked all the way down to allow some flexibility and maneuverability if you connect these with another ramp. It is essential that you do not over tighten these. If you're going to use 2 Pro launches back to back as a spine, you want to allow the coping to adjust up and down slightly. We will move from here to our center hinge bolts. We will tighten these so that they are firm. Again, do not over tighten any of these bolts to allow the hinges to move freely for storage and easy setup. Moving to our outside hinge, we'll finish up the 3 center hinges. We'll snug these up and move on to our kick plate. The kick plate is the same as the coping. You want to tighten this so that it is snug and firm, but not over tightened. We'll do this for all 4 of the bolts. And tighten them so that the lock nut catches the end of the bolt, but do not over tighten. When we flip the ramp over, it will self-adjust so that you don't have to guess where to set this. Next, we'll take our legs. They are cut at an angle, so it is possible to put these in backwards. We'll take the angled side facing forward, and the leg, you'll notice, is slightly bent backwards towards the kick plate, and this is set up this way for maximum grip. It is possible to insert these the wrong way. We'll tighten each of the knobs so that they are nice and firm. Do not use any tools on the knobs. From there, your Pro Launch and Mike V Signature Pro Launch is ready to skate. For more information on how to connect these with other ramps, visit freshpark.com.